Please try not to move. It really disrupts the class. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Sure. Yeah. Hi, Stuart. How are you?
Okay, Larry, how are you?
Good, thank you. As we go deeper and build more Shakti and absorb more Shakti, do we become more aware of how every action we take in life impacts Shakti, like what we eat, how we move in the world, expressing gratitude? Do we see how it's all
I
connected to
can
that?
answer that question in one word. Yes.
Thank you.
It affects everything. Everything. The food you eat, the people you hang out with, the people that you're connected with, the jobs you do, that everything takes on a heightened reality. And we want to have around us really healthy situations. And the very growth that takes place inside us attracts this, attracts a better level of people in our life. It attracts, we eat more healthy food. We take care of ourselves. We exercise. We take care of ourselves. And, that kind of inner growth requires it. We begin to respect the body, we respect the mind, we respect our emotions, we respect every, aspect of the life that we live. And even the job, no matter what the job is, it suddenly takes on a different sheen, takes on a different quality. I remember years ago when I was in my mid 20s, I used to work as a waiter. And I used to get fired from a lot of jobs in New York. I would be, work for 2 or 3 months and I would do a great job. And then all of a sudden I had some money in my pocket and I just sloughed off. And I, people used to, anyway, I finally made a commitment to myself that if I have to do this for the rest of my life, I'm going to become the best waiter there is on the planet Earth. I'm not going to get fired. And I'll never forget it suddenly took on a different meaning for me. I was paying my rent. I was eating food. I was working in the world. I mean, it had a whole different meaning to me. And the day I quit was probably about 6 months later. The owner of the restaurant came up to me and said, if you ever want another job here, need a job, you're always welcome to come here and work. And I knew I was finished. I was finished with, I had done it. I had taken something that was an agony and I couldn't stand and turned it into something that was very precious. And I only was able to do that because of, at the same time, I was going to meditation classes. I was building a very refined and stronger inner life. And so the world around me took on a different, kind of sheen. It was different. Everything was sacred. Everything became precious. And I wasn't in any position to put anybody down. I just had to find out, how can I use this to grow? How can I use this to develop myself as a human being? So yes, the answer is yes. Whatever you do takes on a heightened reality, takes on a more sacred nature. I mean this. It's really extraordinary how that works. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And there's no job in the world, other than, probably, I don't know, I shouldn't even judge mafia and people, but there's no job in the world that isn't in its own way sacred. Every human being is contributing something to life. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And that's always an amazing sign. When one begins to recognize this, it becomes a very profound sign of their growth, because the mundane becomes sacred. The things we take for granted, we no longer take for granted. We live with a heightened reality and a deep sense of gratitude for whatever comes into our life. It becomes our teacher. It teaches us exactly how we have to evolve and grow inside. And I think that's really an important lesson a human being has to learn. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
As we work continuously with ourselves, will we experience a kind of obstacles like reminders for us to keep on working?
I'm not sure what the question is.
If it's if we're as we work with ourselves, are we going to experience kind of backfall, like it would be normal to feel that you evolve and grow, but you will feel also moments where you kind of like get 2 steps back as you go forward.
Absolutely, Laura. I tell you, this work is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And when you're taking that 1 step back, you can't allow yourself to get sucked into it so that it becomes 2 and 3 steps back. Understand? It's always that way. There's always something that's going to come along that's going to test us. And the tests are not negative, they're just showing us that we have the strength to sustain our inner work, no matter what tests come along in our lives. And there'll be 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. It always works that way. And I think that it's an important thing, because instead of being upset that you're 2 steps back, you have to feel gratitude that you're 1 step forward from where you were, you know? And it's not easy to do, because we get caught up in that negative thing that comes along. And then it takes away even the 1 step we went forward. So it takes strength. It takes really a sound inner development to be able to appreciate. I tell you, one of the things that always works for me in my life is I look back the way I was when I was 25 years old. And just the thought of going back and being like that inspires me to work so deep in myself, to continue to open. I look at myself the way I was 5 years ago. I don't want to return to the past. So I use that as an inspiration to go deeper in myself and to build a system inside that can sustain whatever growth and progress I am making in my life. But one has to, understand that there's always going to be a test. There's always going to be that 1 step back, maybe 2 steps back. And then there's going to always be, the test of whether or not we can sustain the growth that has taken place in our life. Or we're going to succumb to that negative quantity that's going to take it away from us. So if you go through this, don't beat yourself up. Just say, oh my God, where am I today? And where was I a month ago? Just say that to yourself, and your heart will open. It'll be gratitude. That'll sustain the growth that takes place inside you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Does anyone else?
Another question.
Yes.
During the meditation and as I work, I feel this heat coming up from my coming from inside me, inside my stomach.
Mhm.
Is that a way I can assure myself I'm coming more and more in contact with my hara?
Yes. One word answer, yes. Yes, that's really good, Laura, that heat. Because it means the hara is really opening, and it means that heat can burn the tension inside. It's very, very good.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's a really good step.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be a class on Sunday. Hoping to see everybody there. And again, as I always end this, I'm just grateful to all of you for being here. I see this as not only an opportunity to teach, because teaching is an opportunity to really grow in my life. And this classes that I've been doing have really done that. They have enabled me to go to a whole different level in my spiritual development. So God bless you all and thank you. And there'll be a class on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you.
You,
Thank you,
Stuart.
Stuart.
Thank you.